the 30th of June, Rabbi Levitt, Ezra.
Okay, so we got Sefer Ezra here. And also got a clothespin to keep Sefer Ezra in place. Okay. And we're up to Pasik Chaf. Pasik Chaf.
Tough. Let's see. Tough.
Pasik Chaf. Verse 20. Pasik Chaf. In Perek Zion, chapter 7.
Morning, Roy.
Good morning, Roy.
Morning, Rabbi. How are you? Good
Baruch Hashem.
morning, Lou.
Chazdei Hashem.
Ushar cha base ela hach di ye pay lach umin tar lemin tan tin tain min base gin ze malka. So the English is, and any other needs of the temple of your God that may arise for you to provide, you may provide from the king's treasury.
Wow. Quite amazing.
That's pretty amazing. A blank check.
He's got a, what do you call it? Carte blanche.
Yeah. So let's see. That may arise for you, literally, which may fall to you to provide, which you may happen to require for the temple besides the daily obligatory needs, rabag. You may provide.
Wow.
The translation follows Rashi, compares this verb to the Hebrew sitain. Mitsudos, however, renders shall be supplied, as in the Hebrew tinasan. Okay, minor point.
Wow. Wow. Where does it say the base elo? Right. He calls it, Dayavish calls it base Elahach, the house of your God. Interesting. Rashi actually, I mean, it makes it sound like he's your God, but he's not my God, the English translation. But I'm reading Rashi, and Rashi says, Shard srichos shetitztorek lebeso shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That it's his house. Whose house? HaKadosh Baruch Hu's house. Didn't say it's your God. But it's his house. It's a totally different understanding than the one that the art scroll renders. Lanias Daiti. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning again, Lou.
Good morning, Mayor.
I mean, it's true that's the l'chor. That's the Art Scroll is not incorrect. It says base elahach. Lahach is yours, the one who is the head, your Hashem. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, we go to Pasuk Chaf Aleph. I don't know. So far, this Daryavish to me sounds like a pretty good guy. And we could say that about him because he's actually, I mean, from what we understand, he's Esther's son. I don't think they ever identify him as such in the pasuk, though. When they first introduced Daryavish to us, did they say who his father was, who his mother was, who his country was?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. The Seder. We will go on to the pasuk Chaf Aleph. Did we do Chaf Aleph yet? No.
No.
We're up to Chaf Aleph. Okay. Okay. Who's ready for Chaf Aleph?
Well, I guess I can do it.
There.
Okay, Kaf Aleph. 1 second. I have to find the 2 dots. Okay. Uminiana artashast malka seem to aim l'chol gizavraya di ba'avar nahara di kol di yish'alenchon Ezra kahana Safar data di elah shmaya asparna yit avid. Wow. Okay, so furthermore, the decree is hereby issued by me, I, King Artaxerxes, to all the treasurers of the Trans-Euphrates region, that whatever Ezra the Kohen, scholar of the law of the God of heaven, shall request of you, shall be granted expeditiously. Whoa. Okay, so let's
wow.
see. This is
That's
20.
a fancy word if I ever heard one.
Well, means hop to it, sort of saying.
I don't know if I ever even heard anybody use that word in conversation.
Yeah, it's a big one. Has more than 2 syllables.
Expeditiously. 5.
5 still.
No less than 5. Wow.
Okay, so on Artaxerxes, Artaxerxes, it says see commentary to verse 1, so I guess we saw that already. L'chol gizavraya di ba'avar nahara, to all the treasurers in the Trans-Euphrates region. This refers to the tax collectors beyond the Euphrates River toward the Holy Land who collected taxes from the non-Jewish peoples inhabiting the land of Israel. This tax money was to be used to help Ezra. And that's Rashi. And Ibn Ezra says, although this is on verse 12, goes back, I guess. The search that our verse marks the beginning of a new leather. Oh, the king sent two leathers, one beginning in verse 13 to the Jews who wished to accompany Ezra, granting them permission to do so, and a second, our verse, to the treasurers, instructing them to supply Ezra with funds.
Wow. And I guess Ezra didn't want to he didn't want to refuse any of this money either.
No.
That wouldn't have been it's interesting because you do see today, you do have stories even of maybe not today, but there's stories from Rosh Hashivas that came from Europe, and the story was, they're trying to collect funds, for the yeshiva in Europe, and they come to America, and the story was that they told the rabbi they found a way to figure out how to raise money for the yeshiva, and they've got these tickets, and he says, "What are these tickets?" So he says, "Oh, these are tickets to the ball," and he says, "A ball? What's a ball?" So they explained to him what it was, that they have, a ball is you have, dancing. Yeah, who's the one who's dancing? Oh, this, it's husbands and wives, and so he got the drift of it, and he immediately tore up the tickets, and he says, "You can't. This is not the way to build Torah." So. And where was he going to get the money from? He said, I'm looking for the money from the one who Hashem wants him to give me the money. But this person, this is not the way. Hashem doesn't want me to do that. That was the idea. So but over here we see a different, it's a different setting, it's a different situation, it's a different this, it's a different that, and this is what happened. So, okay.
I've got here a list of what he's allowed to spend.
Wow.
And from me, King Darius, is issued a command and an authorization to all the treasurers who are on the other side of the river, on the side of Israel, who receive my taxes from the nations, that anything that Ezra the priest, the scholar of the law of the Holy One, blessed be he, requests of you shall be performed quickly. They should not delay his request up to 100 talents of silver, with which to purchase sacrifices, and 100 cores of wheat for meal offerings, and up to 100 measures of wine for the libations, and 100 measures of oil to mingle the meal offerings, and salt for the sacrifices, according to the matter that is stated. And this is stated in Leviticus 2:13, which is, and every meal offering you shall salt with salt. That's all that's from Rashi.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. But you mean to tell me that the actual korbanos, they're going to be brought on the Mizbeach in the Beis HaMikdash, are going to be purchased with money from tax money from the nations. That's incredible. Incredible that they wanted to give it, and incredible that that Ezra says we'll take it. I don't know. It's interesting. To me, it's an eye opener.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the king. It's the king's order. You know, Ezra can't really he can't really defy the king's order. The king is not telling him to do avodah zarah. He's just telling him to accept this money,
Hmm.
which maybe it was used for avodah zarah. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, fine, interesting. Okay, Huff. Oh, so did we?
Yeah, we finished Kaf Aleph.
Oh, so we're actually now we're up to Huff base.
Right.
Okay. Okay, Roy.
Okay. Ad kesef kikurai me'ar v'ad hintin korin ma'ar v'ad chama beitin ma'ar v'ad beitin masach ma'ar u'malech di lo kasov. Kasov. Yeah. This is what, 22? Until 100 talents of silver and until 100 cores of wheat. Oh, this is what he. Oh, this is like the footnote for 21. And until 100 baths of wine and until 100 baths of oil and salt, whose amount is not written. 22 here I've got is, which is not written, that phrase, which is not written. And salt, regarding which no measure is written, they shall give according to how much is needed, says Rashi. Masudas David comments that salt was given in limitless amounts because it was inexpensive. Malbrin states that all the salt belongs to the king and therefore did not cost him money. Isaiah Dartrani, who's that? Renders, and salt, which is needed for the sacrifices, shall be given without writing or accounting for.
Mm. Okay. Okay, so there is a certain limit on the carte blanche, it seems.
Not quite carte blanche.
Okay. Okay.
It
Huff
seems,
Gimel.
seems that
What?
it seems that the king trusts Ezra not to be greedy.
Well, he did put a limit on the.
Yes, but did Ezra go up to the limit or less than the limit?
Well, right now we're just seeing what the king
Yeah, yes,
is
allowing.
saying. We don't. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, we'll actually see. I mean, what? How did what did Ezra do with this offer? We'll see. So far, this is just what the king is prescribing in his letter, that this is his desire that it should be like this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Okay. Pasuk Kaf Gimel. Back to Luke.
Kaf Gimel. Kaf Gimel. Kol di min tam ella she maya is ved ad ad razda leves ella Shemaya di lama leheve koli leheve kitsaf al malchus um uh lach di la chesav. Whatever is decreed by the God of heaven shall be done by the king's seal for the temple of God, lest his rage befall the king's realm and his children.
Tough.
23, let's see, 23. By the king's seal. The translation follows Rashi. In the context of the passage, the meaning is quickly. A sealed decree is given the highest priority and is thus fulfilled quickly. Malbim, too, translates seal, asserting that the king commanded that a special seal be made bearing the insignia of the temple of God. A decree bearing the seal, therefore, would be Malbim too translates seal, asserting that the king commanded that a special seal be made bearing the insignia of the temple of God. A decree bearing this seal would be considered a command of the God of heaven and would carry binding authority of the king's proclamation.
Wow. What's all this about? Seems like he's joining the Ratzon Hashem to the seal of the king.
Yeah. Because the seal of the king has a representation of the Beis Hamikdash on it.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, bearing the insignia of the temple of Hashem.
Right. So once he uses that seal on a document, so now you've got on the document you've got a picture of the Beis Hamikdash, as if to say, this document is under the authority of the Beis Hamikdash.
Or even under the authority of Hashem, who's the one who dwells in that Beis Hamikdash.
Right. In this case, the Beis Hamikdash would be a physical representation of Hashem.
Would carry the binding authority. Wow.
Lest his rage befall, let the treasurers supply the temple's needs in order to avoid God's wrath. According to Rashi, this was the king's rationale for all of his decrees concerning the temple contained in this letter. Malvin.
It sounds like he just got through putting a limit on the amount that he was willing to give, and now it sounds like he's saying, but on the other hand, I don't want Hakadosh Baruch Hu to be angry with me that I didn't give what it was that I was capable of giving, and I don't want any fallout from this, not on me and not on my family either, and so therefore I'm going to make a special seal that when you see this seal, this is the seal that you got to do whatever it says in this seal. So I've got the final authority, in other words, says Daryavish, if you see a letter with this seal on it, so do whatever it says. Doesn't matter how much it costs.
Right.
He's a tremendous maimin in Hashem. Wow, halavai, we should be like, have that emunah that he has. And this, the Gemara takes him to task, that he's not doing it, he's not doing it l'shem shamayim. He's only doing it to protect his own family. I don't know. I say that it's a tremendous madrega. I wish I had that madrega that he has. That he believes so clearly. It's so clear to him that Hashem is in charge of everything and anything, and he's especially in charge of anything that happens to my family. And if I do something that Hashem doesn't think is good, if I do something wrong, like I don't give enough, don't help to support that if I say, oh, let the Jews build their building, what's in my business? There's a separation of church and state. I don't have to give money for the Jewish worship. Let them. Wow. He's I don't know. It's amazing. Where did he get this emunah from? That's what I want to know.
Esther, his mother.
Yeah, if in fact he is the son of Esther, then that would explain it. And he probably, if he's the son of Esther, then Mordechai probably had something to do with him also. Okay, we don't know. We don't know so much about him.
Esther had died by then.
What?
Esther, she wasn't alive anymore.
Oh, that's an interesting question. How long did Esther live?
Wow.
That's an interesting question.
Because then she might have something more direct to say about all this to her son.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, the way the Vilna Gaon learns the Megillah, Esther was the way I remember of Brevda saying, Zatzal, that she was a 70-year-old Yiddish mama when she went into Achashverosh, and Hashem made Chut Shel Chesed, and he wanted her.
Wow. Huh. So it says here.
So that makes her 85 now, at least, if she's still around.
It would be possible.
says here there's one tradition connects her age to the numerical value of her Hebrew name Hadassah, which is 74. Wow.
What was
Yeah.
that? Age to what?
74. The gematria of Hadassah, which is her Hebrew
Oh,
name,
right. Gematria of Hadassah, right.
which is close to 80, I guess.
Oh, interesting. So how old was she when she had this Daryovish?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, did
I
Ezra have
mean,
children? How long did she say? How
how old is Daryovish now? We don't know that either. Presumably, he already had his bar mitzvah.
Mm.
Okay. Daryovish. Okay, so we're up to Pasuk Chaf Dalid, and we go to Meir.
Okay.
Right? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could find out when Daryavish was born, how old Esther was, but I can't see it. We'll have to look it up later. Okay, so we're on Kaf Dalid. Beautiful. Says, Ulechon mehodin dikol kahanaya levaye zamaria dataraya netinaya ufache beit elaha dina minda lo v'halach la shalit lemirmei alehon. Okay, so this translates, we also declare to you that concerning all the Kohanim and Levites, the singers and the gatekeepers, the Nethinim, and whoever serves in this temple of God, it shall not be lawful to impose upon them any levy, tax, or duty. Okay, so that was
Wow.
24. Ulachon, to you. It says the closing remark of the preceding verse expresses the king's belief that the temple services protect the kingdom from heavenly wrath. Therefore, those involved in these services should be exempt from taxes. Taxing them would be like taxing soldiers in the king's army for the purpose of providing an army. The Talmud in Baba Basra derives from our verse that a Talmid Chacham is not required to pay taxes to the king. Tosafot there explains that the devotion to Torah study is equivalent to the involvement in the Torah's temple service. Just as the temple personnel who participated in the sacred temple services were exempt, so too Talmidei Chachamim are exempt because of their sacred Torah study. Let's see. Rashi and Meiri to Bava Basra 8a and Rosh to Nedarim 62b state that the king exempted the men of the great assembly from taxes. This statement is questioned by Rashash to Bava Basra 8a, who points out that our verse mentioned only the temple personnel in the exemption, not the men of the great assembly. Okay. Netinaya ufache beit elaha dina. the Nethinim, and whoever serves in the temple of God. Translation follows Ralbag and Mitsudo. Rashi renders Nethinim were temple workers. The conjunctive vav is sometimes added, although no conjunction is meant. See Radox, Michal. Okay, and then Mindav lo v'halach la shalit lemirmei alehom. It shall not be lawful to impose upon them any levy, tax, or duty. An explanation of each of these various taxes. Okay, see commentary in 413. I guess he already dealt with that.
Well, those are the three names, I guess. Minda, below, and halach. Levy, tax, and duty. What's the difference between a levy and a tax and a duty?
Well, that's an interesting.
I mean, like one's a head tax, one's a property tax, one's a sales tax.
Yeah, duty is like when I guess you import something, you get taxed on it. Like the airports say duty free.
Right.
What's a levy? I'm not sure. It's an interesting question.
That reminds me of a very creative advertisement that I saw once. That there was a picture of this guy, dressed up, like as an Indian, an American Indian, and he's got the feather over his head or something like that. Anyway, and he's enjoying this corned beef sandwich, and they say you don't have to be Jewish to love levies.
Yeah, so let's see. It's the levy is to impose a tax, fee, or fine. A new tax could be levied on industry to pay for cleaning up contaminated land. Okay.
Oh, it sounds like it's something that's not kavua. It's
Right.
according to the tzorech.
Right.
It's for a specific tzorech. It needs tikkun. Okay, pasuk haf hey. Roy. Last word on the top line.
Okay, Roy, your sound, your mic is off.
Still off. Roy, you still got the red mic. We can't hear you.
I think he's working on it. There he is.
Right,
It's off.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw him reading.
All right. Sorry. All right.
No problem.
No, the person next door is putting up a division, and he called me over. I suppose I've got to pay half. I don't know. Va'ant Azara Kanhaf of Mas Aloha Di Bidoch Meni Shofatin Vadaya Nin Di Lehevain Lehevon De'onin Lechol Amor Di Ba'ava Nahara Lechol Yaduai, the Alahav, the D, Lo, Yode, Tehada, Um, and the translation I give here is, and you, Ezra, according to the wisdom of your God, which is in your hand, appoint judges and magistrates who will judge all the people beyond the river, all who have known the laws of your God, and whoever does not know, you shall teach them.
Wow.
Goodness. This is
So he's granting them total religious autonomy,
he's ordering them.
ordering them. Yeah, not granting them. You're right. You're right. You have to live according to the the Torah of Hashem, and you need to appoint judges and magistrates who will judge everybody to make sure that they're doing that. And anybody that doesn't know what it is that they're supposed to do, you got to teach them so that they'll know. But that's religious coercion, Rabbi. So you know what the kings will say to that? Oh, you're defying the king's edict? You know what that means? Okay. Let's take a look. What do we have over here on this pasuk? This is pasuk Chaf Hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Very interesting. Wow.
I've got here, and you, Ezra, according to the wisdom of your God, which is in your hand. That phrase, and which is greater than that of the judges and the magistrates who judge all the people beyond the river to the side of Israel, the people knowledgeable in the Torah. Rashi, it says Rashi, Rabag, Isaiah, Dutrani, and Mitzudav David, they say, according to the wisdom of your God, which is in your hand, appoint judges and magistrates, etc. Ezra is hereby authorized to appoint a judicial system with the full authority of the king. And whoever does not know, and the judge who does not know how to judge, inform him of the judgment that he should execute it.
Oh,
So, what?
yeah. Oh. I mean, it says that the appointment is to be made l'kol yodei dasei elahach. Appoint those that know what the law of your God is. According to those who interpret the preceding part of the verse as a command to Ezra to appoint judges and magistrates, this phrase is a description of the people to be judged by Ezra's appointees. Appoint judges and magistrates, ... men who know the law of your God, in order to judge all who know Torah. So this that it says l'chol yadei dasei elahach is the ones that are to be judged, not the judges. And so then they say in brackets, according to that, it will come out only those knowing the law may be held accountable for their transgressions and judged by the courts. So they could say ignorance of the law is my excuse. and he won't judge them. Mitsudis has it refer not to those being judged, but to the judges themselves. No, the ones that have to know what the law is are the ones that are the judges and the magistrates. They're the ones that got to know. Oh, so then we get to the next part of the pasuk. V'dilo yoda ta tahodaun. Those that do not know, teach them. Now, according to Rashi, the previous statements in this verse serve as a preface to the command expressed in this final phrase. The king, pointing out Ezra's knowledge, commanded him to teach the judges and magistrates who were deficient in Torah knowledge. According to Mitsudis, however, our verse contains two commands. Number one, appoint judges. Number two, teach all who were ignorant. According to Rabbi Yeshai Mitrani, our phrase refers to those who could not be held accountable in court because of their ignorance of the law. So this that it says, as for those that do not know and are therefore out of the court's jurisdiction, you must teach them so that they'll know what it is that they're supposed to do in order to fulfill the law of your God. Wow. This is incredible. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, that's it for today. Oh, well, we're way out of time.
Wow.
Okay, Yashikoyak, everybody.
Have a great day, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you shortly again.
Soros Tovos, Yeshuos, V'nechamos.
Have a
Amen.
good day, Mayor.
Okay, be
A
well.
great day to Mayor.
Okay, have a good day, everyone. Bye now.